What it do, Dream Team? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. And before you say anything about this one, I want to let you know I am still reacting to all the finals games. I'm just throwing this in the mix, so I will still be reacting to the games. But this is NBA Legends reveal why Michael Jordan is the greatest. And before we dive in, if you happen to enjoy the video, please don't forget to subscribe or hit that like button. See what we got.
What if we could send Michael Jordan back to playing basketball with you in your prime?
Michael Jordan is one of those rare specimens that could have played at any particular time and is a gifted athlete who is using those gifts in basketball incredibly so.
I've been watching. We'll give you a couple talks soon, man. All right, let's go ahead.
What was going on in that conversation? Well, I just went over to say hello to him, and I was like everybody else. I meant all.
He has been the liaison between something that's not so good and making it great for all the rest.
So when I say the name Michael Jordan, what comes to mind?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Well, what else I need to say? We was playing Chicago in Salt Lake. They switched and put John Stockton on it, and he turned around and dunked on Stockton. So some guy got up and almost followed him down the sideline and said, "Hey, Jordan, pick on somebody your own size." Next time down the floor, he dunked on Neal and went over and looked at the guy and said, "Was he big enough?"
Listen, Jordan was
Was he big enough?
the greatest, in my opinion.
Is he the best to ever play the game?
Oh, yeah. All the shit you see on your poster, like he's doing it in real life. Like he came by me so fast sometimes I was like, oh shit. Mike, yeah, I was terrified.
You obviously got to play against Michael a lot on the court. What was it about him that made him so special?
Determination, man, to win and be great. You know, you could see it in, I remember back when Mike's first year in pros. He's just a great guy, man. He got the attitude for be a great guy. Determination, and the pride, to be great.
That's one of the few guys that I would pay to watch play because he is so talented and so much fun to watch. And if they can get a couple more just good players with him, they'll be championship contenders.
He'll laugh and smile with you, just like he did in shoot around with me. He'll smile, hug, what's up, my boy? Yeah. He trying to soften you up. He gonna kill you. See, then he gonna smile and laugh with you after the game. See, Michael is like that. That's why you almost can't beat him.
The only thing I can see that's a weakness to Michael Jordan is the fact that if he shows up and he just don't want to play and then only score 30 instead of 50.
Michael Jordan is not only the best basketball.
If he show up and he just don't want to play and he scored 30 instead of 50 is crazy. That's a crazy statement.
Player, but he's the most exciting basketball player to ever play. We only dream about doing things that he can do.
Michael Jordan used to always say that you was his favorite player and you was the one he always looked to. When you used to see him play, did you see the similarities?
You know, our particular style of play was really rooted in solid fundamental approach to playing the game. And with one exception, when handling the ball, I always would look for daylight, wherever there was daylight. And sometimes, there'd only be a little bit of daylight, like between two players, and find a way to get the ball between there and your body through there.
And the palm in the ball, or, the dunk style and stuff like that. Did you see the similarities of seeing that he was watching?
I would always see daylight, and maybe I could see daylight that a lot of other players couldn't see, and I see a lot of extraordinary players today, Jordan and Drexler and what have you. They see daylight where other players don't see that.
And it was funny because I remember he came down and he dunked on like a whole team.
God,
and then I went down and dunked on his team. Whatever, I was looking at him, he was looking at me. And he was like, I could do it again,
I can do it again, I love these stories of like NBA legends reminiscing about stories of how great Michael Jordan was. Like, that's truly awesome.
I said, all right, well, I only get one shot at it. I made it. So,
right.
But it was fun. And those years when we overlapped, I caught him before he really hit his stride. I always liked him. I always felt that he had a lot of respect. He had a lot of admiration. He was going to carry the torch.
Yeah.
and he certainly desired to do it. Did a hell of a job.
The legend of Michael Jordan just get told every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a Michael Jordan story being told by somebody on earth right now.
Facts.
Yeah, he was the standard. He was what you strive to be as a basketball player.
To, you know, have so many stories and just know what he brought to the game and know how much he changed the game, and then to have him walk in and just to see that in form, it's just like, damn, it's captivating, you know. He's just a polarizing figure. He's built himself up to that point. It's like he's almost 60 years old, and we still view him as the best player in basketball, you know? So
that's crazy.
He went on a historic run that'll never be matched by anybody in the sport.
But to see how he led by example every night was the same. You know, he dominated, and that's just simply the best leadership quality, is to go out there and play the game as hard as you can, play to win, and play at that elite level. You know, and he was at that masterful level of you know, just his skills for the game, his IQ for the game, and his athleticism, it all combined at once and made just a God-level player, in my opinion.
I really like Michael Jordan, and he and I are friendly. This guy has done more spectacular things.
That's crazy.
Than any basketball player I've ever seen.
I agree.
I mean,
that's Jerry. That is saying a lot.
I agree.
He just stands apart from every player I've ever seen.
That speaks volumes.
The thing that people don't realize is some of the stuff he could do.
I don't think there's any flaw in this guy's game. He's the best defensive player in the league, in my opinion. Yeah. He's the best competitor in the league, in my opinion. He's by far the best offensive player, in my opinion. He's the best clutch player in the game. He's got the whole package. And
MJ is tough, and this is Jerry West. This is an absolute legend, giving MJ his props. Jerry was a legend in the sport.
His skill level, on top of that enormous physical package, really sets him apart from the other players.
He was the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
When he was playing.
Absolutely.
He was the best offensive player.
Right.
And his athleticism, he was in Carolina, and they were running, I forget, 100 or 40-yard dash. Mm-hmm. He ran at some spectacular time.
Wow.
And one of the coaches said something to him differently. And he said, oh, I can do better than that. He went out 0.2 of a second faster.
Wow.
I love MJ. That's my guy.
How many times he been there? 6.
6.
How many times he won?
I know.
6. Like, listen.
I mean, everybody love MJ. As a fan, as somebody who just love, you know, like creativity, competition.
Especially in the way that you play the game, you could impact the game on both ends of the floor. And I'm sure you always felt like there was time for you to flip the switch and get things back under control.
One similarity, I guess there are many, but one that strikes me between you and Michael Jordan, Larry, is that killer instinct, totally ruthless on the court. You had that, and Michael does too.
Well, that's awful nice, Bob, to compare me to Michael Jordan. Probably the greatest player in the game.
I love listening to Larry Bird, because Larry Bird definitely was cocky on the court, and definitely in the things that he said and the trash that he talked, and you hear all the Larry Bird stories. But I feel like in interviews and stuff, like, you don't really hear like Larry Bird talk about it. Like, he always giving other players their props, giving them respect. But I guess on the court is when he did all his trash talking.
Right now. I can tell you some things that happened in the games against us. One time I turned, I jumped, and he still went. His knees almost hit me in the chin. And that's when I realized that this guy's pretty special for his jump ability, but cat quick. He closed down a pass lane as fast as anybody ever seen, and just a phenomenal player. That type of player can go to another level anytime he wants to. Michael was a great player, and I just tried to do the best I could against him.
As soon as he came into the league, he started leading the league in scoring. So I knew he could do it. And James Worthy said, "Watch this guy. He's gonna be something." And he was absolutely right.
Are you better than Jordan?
I'm not better than him, but I was at least as effective as he was.
You know, I wear the number because of Mike. I think I fell in love with the game because of Mike. You know, when you're growing up and you're seeing Michael Jordan, it's almost like a god. The way that he approached the game, the way that he led his troops when he went out on the court, and his never say die attitude, man, was something I always looked up to. For my name to come up in a discussion with the greatest basketball player of all time, it was like wow. I did pretty much everything that MJ did when I was a kid. I shot fadeaways before I should have. I wore a leg sleeve on my leg and folded it down so you saw the red part. I wore black and red shoes with white socks. I wore short shorts so you could see my undershorts underneath. But I did everything Mike did, man. I wanted to be Mike. And so for my name to come up in any discussion with Michael Jordan, so it's just a wow factor. I don't really have nothing to say.
That's awesome. Getting that prop and respect from who I see as the greatest of all time, LeBron James. But knowing how much respect and everything he had for Michael Jordan, he looked up to him as almost like a god when it came to the sport of basketball, and he tried to emulate him in so many ways. I think it's just phenomenal. What word am I looking for? The impact. I think it's phenomenal impact Michael Jordan had on basketball, not just while he played, but the impact he's had on future generations that are now playing. It's incredibly special. But that's all we have for this video. If you guys enjoyed that, make sure you check out that one next. Also, subscribe and hit that like button. See you guys later.